area. Hopefully, it'll prevent some of the delay that we find. But and as we get ready to get started, something that I want to kind of focus on is what the purpose is. Like, why are we practicing? So I want to kind of invite you to, I don't know, think about the fact that we practice our body. You've heard it before. We bend so that we don't break. Part of that is the physical body. We lengthen the muscles, we strengthen the muscles so that we can contort our bodies in all these different ways, ultimately, to allow us to be stronger, to be more nimble. But that's not just the physical practice. We start with the physical body because it's easiest for us to identify with. We can see it, we can touch it, we can feel it, we can hold it, we can experience all these sensations. But the important part is to allow us to bring that into our thinking patterns as well. We create this space so that we can identify what's there inside of ourselves so that we can better understand and accept other people for what they're believing, what they're thinking, what they're doing, and create this sense of empathy. So it starts with building that in ourselves. So as we go throughout our practice today, I'd like for you again to just kind of keep that in mind. When you feel something in your bodies, is our first tendency to immediately back out and stop? Or do we modify it so that we can provide, so that we can experience something regardless of what level we're at physically? So just kind of bridging the mind and the body. But let's go ahead and get started on down on our backs. You can take the feet as wide as your mat, tucking those shoulder blades under so the chest is broad and open. And as we allow the eyes to close and our bodies to settle down into the mat, let's start by tuning in, noticing what's happening in the space around you. What are the sounds, the smells of the space in your space? Noticing how the temperature of the room or your area feels against your body. And then we notice how these things make us feel, not only what's happening, but how do they make us feel? How do they make our bodies feel? And with every gentle exhalation, we find a sense of softening and release on the backside of our bodies, increasing the surface area of our bodies that are in contact with the mat. And as below, so above, as we start to release the top sides of our bodies, finding this sense of openness. And then we begin to tune into the body, scanning from the top of the head down to the soles of the feet. Noticing, how does your body feel in this moment? Knowing that your body and all the experiences that it's endured over time is going to feel something a little bit differently than the person that's practicing across the street, across the city, wherever you are. So notice the uniqueness of what you feel in your body. Beginning to tune into the mind and finding that same thing, noticing, how do we feel mentally in this moment? Just as our physical bodies, we understand and accept where we are in this moment. Using our practice to guide us in the direction that we choose, the direction that we desire. As we tune in, noticing how we feel emotionally, whether we can find a specific word to describe it, a general color, a sense of fatigue or resilience, whatever you're experiencing emotionally in this moment. And then we'll begin to tune into the breath, just noticing how fast or slow each breath is flowing, how deep or shallow, whether each one is in the belly or in the chest. And then we'll take 3 deep breaths all together, starting by pressing all the air out of the lungs. And then we inhale deeply into the belly, all the way to the top of the chest, holding it in. And then sighing it all out. A nice deep inhale, taking in all the air that we need, holding it at the top. And then exhale, letting go of all those things we don't need right now in our lives. One last time, biggest breath you've taken all day, holding it in. Maybe adding one more sip of breath if you can, and then sigh it all out. Again, maintaining those deep breaths in and out of the nose as we start to bring movement back into our fingers and toes. Circling through the wrists and the ankles. And then on your inhale, we reach the arms and legs nice and long for a big stretch. Let's grab the left wrist with the right hand, leaning over to the right. And coming through center, grabbing onto the right wrist, and then leaning over to the left. And as we come back into center, we'll bring the knees into the chest, giving them a little hug, gently rocking from side to side. And then we'll place the soles of the feet onto the mat, opening the arms wide into a T. Let's scoot the hips over to the right side of our mat, letting the knees fall to the left for our reclined twist. If you like, you can even turn the head over to the right side. But finding a sense of softness in the inner thighs and glutes, allowing the shoulders to relax down into the mat. Using this passive twist not only to open up some of the musculature, but also to explore what we're feeling in our backs and hips. And on your next inhalation, we'll come back through center, scooting the hips over to the left and letting the knees fall to the right. Again, finding a sense of heaviness in our body. Exploring, noticing where we are in this moment. And then on your next inhale, we'll come back into center. Now let's bring those knees back into the chest, giving them a little hug. But now we'll start to lift the head, lift the shoulders off the mat, trying our best to engage our belly, to press our back down into the mat. As we start to extend the left leg out long, keep the connection of the low back down into the mat. And then we'll switch knees, left knee in, right leg out long. Continue switching one knee and then the other, one per breath. If it's a little bit too much on the neck to look at your knee, feel free to look straight up at the sky. That way we keep that neutral curve in the spine. Taking one more each side. And after that last one, we'll bring the knees into the chest. Making our way up to all fours. If you like, you can rock forward and back from the shoulder blades to the tailbone. Eventually, Making our way onto hands and knees, finding our tabletop. As we're here, keep those fingers spread nice and wide. Try to make sure we stack the shoulders right on top of the wrists. Now be cautious, there's a tendency to lean back a little bit, so lean a little further forward than you think. And we'll take a few rounds of our cat and cow pose. So as we inhale, drop the belly, lifting the chest to look forward. Exhale, hollowing out the belly, rounding the chin in. Twice more like that. Inhale into our cow, pull those shoulders back away from the ears, and then exhale, spread those shoulder blades nice and wide. Get one more round. As we pause back and center, finding that neutral spine, we'll start to shift the hips from side to side, looking back at one hip and then the other, working to open up the space on the sides of the torso, above the hip and between the ribs. And as we come back into center, we'll start to make circles. So shift your ribs to one side, rounding through our cat, all the way around into our cow. Just exploring, opening up all those little spaces in our shoulders and torso. And then reversing directions. If there's a spot that feels particularly yummy, you are more than welcome to take a breath or two there. And we start to make our way back into our neutral spine. Extending the left leg back behind us. As we reach the right fingertips forward, continue to hug that belly and finding a flat back. And then on the inhale, lift a little bit higher. Exhale, knee to elbow. Twice more, inhale, reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. Once more, inhale, reach and lift. Exhale, knee to elbow. You're gonna go ahead and reach the arm and leg nice and long. The hand comes down, but keep the foot where it is. All right. And then slowly start to flex those toes to point straight down to the ground. We're gonna tap the toes to the mat. Lift the toes up and then reach them all the way out to the side and tap the ground with the end of the foot. And back. Taking that twice more, reaching out to the side and tap the mat. And back. Last time, tap the mat and then pause here with that leg extended out to the side. Toes are facing forward. We'll start to walk the right hand to the outside of the right knee and then opening up that left side of the body, reaching the left arm to the side for our gate pose. And press those hips forward slightly, maybe even lean the shoulders back. And on your exhale, walking the hands all the way through center. Left hand comes to left shin, reach the right arm open. And let's take those two poses twice more, going through center, all the way to the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, center. Inhaling to the left. And center, last time, right. And center, and left. And then bring those hands all the way down to the mat. We'll extend that leg back behind us and lower the knee down to the ground. Other side, right leg extends out. Left arm reaches forward. Find that engagement in your belly, pressing all the knuckles down to the ground. On the inhale, we lift a little bit higher, slight back bend, and exhale, hollow out the belly. Inhale, reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. Last time, reach and lift. Knee to elbow. Get it, reach out nice and long. The leg stays lifted, lower the hand down. Again, flex those toes down to point to the mat, and then tap them down. Rotate the leg all the way out to the side, and tap the inner foot down. Twice more like that, reaching back and tap. And to the right, and tap. Last time, back. And to the right. This time, keep the right foot down. We're walking the left hand over to the outside of the knee. Reach the right arm out to the side, opening up the chest, pressing those hips forward. And then on your exhale, walk the hands through center all the way to the right leg. Reaching the left arm up and over. 2 more times like that. Exhaling center. Inhale, lifting to the left. Through the middle. Over to the right. And center. Last time, left. And center. And right. And hands come down to the mat. Reaching that right leg back. Lower the knees down. From here, we'll sit the hips back into the heels for a child's pose. Reach the arms out long in front of us. Really thinking about pressing those fingertips down as they slide forward. Reaching the hips back as far as feels good. Beginning to walk the hands over to the right edge of your mat. We'll place the left hand on top of the right. Noticing the left side of the torso opening up, expanding those muscles between the ribs. And then walking over to the left side. Right hand places on top of the left. And then we walk the hands back into the center. Keeping your chest as low as you can to the mat. Come all the way forward onto your belly. And then we'll lift the chest up into a cobra, pressing the pubic bone to the mat. Exhale, child's pose. Let's take that twice more. Inhale, slide the chest along the mat, lifting it to your cobra. And then hollow out your belly, rounding into child's pose. Last time, inhale, forward. Exhale, child's pose. From our child's pose, we'll make our way onto all fours. Walking the feet back into a plank and pausing here. Again, all the knuckles are pressing down. And then see if we can pop up the back of our chest, rounding or contracting those shoulder blades slightly. And we lift the hips up and back into our first down dog. We'll take 5 breaths here, so feel free to take whatever movements feel good, shifting the hips or pedaling the feet out. Maintaining those nice full inhalations and long exhalations from henceforth and forevermore. And from your downward dog, we'll start to walk the feet all the way to the front of the mat. Once you arrive, bend the knees as much as we need to. Let the belly rest on our thighs and forward fold. Letting go of any tension we're holding in the shoulders and the neck. Maybe even nod yes or shake no. And then we'll pause in stillness. Tuck your tailbone under, engage the low belly as we start to roll up 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way up to stand. Beautiful. Once you've arrived, we'll inhale, reach the arms all the way up and overhead. And on the exhale, forward fold. Inhaling halfway lift with a flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, stepping the right foot back, pausing here. Straighten that back leg as much as you can. Firm up those quads like you're pressing the back of the knee to the sky. But let the hips sink a little bit deeper for 1 more breath. And then we step back into our plank. Shifting forward past the wrist, lower the knees down, lower halfway down to chaturanga, hug the elbows, and then release the mat. Inhale, lifting the chest into cobra. Exhaling, downward dog. Floating the right leg up to the sky. Start to bend the knee, opening the hips, stacking that right hip on top of the left. We should be able to see our toes hanging out in the left armpit. And on your inhale, reach the right leg straight back. And on the exhale, we'll step it all the way forward between the hands. Pause for a breath. And then stepping the left foot forward to meet the right. Inhaling halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. On the inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. And release. Once more like that, inhaling up. Exhale, fold. Inhaling halfway, lift flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, stepping the left foot back, pausing here. So again, straighten that back leg, firm up your quads. As the hips sink a little bit deeper. Shoulders back and away from the ears. 2 more breaths. And then stepping the right foot back to meet the left, finding our plank. On the inhale, shift those shoulders forward. You can lower the knees if you like as we go through Chaturanga. Inhaling into our back bend, cobra or up dog. Exhaling, downward dog. The inhale floats our left leg to the sky. Again, bending the knee, opening the hip. Stack the hip on top of the right as much as your body will allow. While still driving that right heel towards the mat, lifting the left knee up. 1 more breath. Inhale, straighten the leg back. Exhale, we'll step in between the hands, pausing for a breath. And then stepping the right foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhaling, hands to the heart. And release. Let's cross the left foot over the right. Once you're there, inhale, reaching up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, find a flat back. And then hands come down, step that left foot all the way back into our lunge. And then bring the left knee down onto the mat, low lunge. From here, root that left hand down, we reach the right arm up to the sky for a twist. Sinking those hips down, pull the right hip back. On your exhale, the hand comes down to the mat. Stepping back into our plank, lowering all the way down into our bellies. On the inhale, lift into cobra, looking over your right shoulder. Exhale down. Tuck the toes under. Make your way into a plank and then downward dog. On your next inhale, we bend the knees, look between the hands. Exhale, step or hop to the front. Inhaling halfway, lift flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhaling, hands to the heart. And release. Last time on the other side. Cross the right foot over the left. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, carefully forward fold. On your next inhale, halfway lift flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step that right foot all the way back into our lunge. And then the back knee comes down into the mat, untucking the toes. As the hips sink deeply, root that right hand down, floating the left arm up to the sky. Squeeze that right glute, hugging that belly in for 1 more breath. And then we release the hands to the mat, stepping back into our plank. Shifting forward, we lower all the way down to the mat. Inhaling into cobra, looking over your left shoulder down. Exhaling down. Tucking the toes under, making our way into plank. Finding our downward dog. From down dog, on the inhale, we bend the knees, look between the hands, exhale, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhaling, halfway lift flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reaching the arms all the way to the sky. Exhaling, hands to the heart. And release. You may use a block on this one, we may not need it. But if you have it, go ahead and bring it. We're gonna take our feet about shoulder width apart. Place that block right in front of our feet. As we inhale, we reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. All right, placing that right hand either on your block or on the mat, we start to bend into the right knee, floating the left arm up to the sky. So the left leg is straight, the right knee is as deeply bent as you need. Yeah, keep firming up your left quads, engaging your glutes on that left side for one more breath. And on your exhale, forward fold. Other side, bend into the left knee, root the left hand down as we sweep the right arm up to the sky. Yeah, let that right hip pull back, but keep flexing your quads, lifting that kneecap. And squeezing that right glute as we hug the belly in. One more breath. And forward fold. You can slide your block off to the side. Inhaling halfway, lift flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. And release. Preparing for our B variation. For our chair pose, take those feet closer, however close feels good for you. As we start to sit the hips down and back, reach the arms forward and up into our chair pose. Yeah, this should feel strong. And so the weight is both in our heels and our toes. Engage in those glutes as we tuck the tailbone under, find low belly engagement for one more breath. And exhale, forward fold. Inhaling halfway, lift flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, step or hop the feet back. Finding your chaturanga. Inhaling through your back bend. And exhaling, downward dog. On the inhale, we'll float the right leg up to the sky. And exhale, step it between the hands, warrior one. As we root that back foot down, square the hips, so pull the right hip back, reaching up to the sky. If you've got a big back bend or your ribs are flaring, tuck those ribs in, find all the belly engagement you can. Create this nice thick bracing of the core for one more breath. Exhale, hands to the mat, stepping back into your plank. You can go through the chaturanga or go straight into your downward dog. The option is always yours. Next inhalation, we'll float the left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between the hands, warrior one. Making sure that we're hip distance apart from side to side as we reach those arms up tall. Again, tug that tailbone under. You want to find a nice and solid engagement in our right glute and our right thigh. One more breath. Exhaling, hands down to the mat, stepping back into your plank as we take the chaturanga. Inhaling through back bend. Exhaling, downward dog. From down dog, on the inhale, we'll bend the knees, look between the hands, exhale, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhaling halfway, lift flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Sitting the hips down into our chair, we reach the arms forward and up, taking 3 breaths here. And scoop those pinkies inward towards one another, one more breath. On your exhale, forward fold. Inhaling halfway, lift flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back, hop back, find your chaturanga and your back bend. We'll meet in down dog. From downward dog, inhaling the left leg up to the sky. Exhale, step the foot between the hands, warrior one, reaching those arms straight up to the sky. Yeah, finding that tuck under the tailbone. This time we're interlace the fingers behind our back. On the inhale, pull the shoulders back, opening up the chest. And as we exhale, bow forward over the front leg, humble warrior. So don't lose the tension in that right leg, it stays engaged. Yeah, we continually think about trying to lift our belly off the thighs, even if it's touching, it's engaged. One more breath. Inhale, lifting the chest, reaching the arms up. Exhale, hands to the mat, stepping back through your plank, finding your chaturanga and your back bend. Once you've arrived, we'll inhale the right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between the hands. Warrior one. Again, are those shoulders starting to creep up to the ears like earmuffs? Relax them down, pressing those shoulder blades down the back. As we interlace the fingers behind our back, the other thumb is on top. We inhale, lift the chest, opening up. Exhale, forward fold into humble warrior. Still thinking about gliding that right hip back. Lifting the belly up, 2 more breaths. On your inhale, lift the chest, reach the arms all the way to the sky. Exhaling, hands to the mat. Step that foot back to plank, lowering through chaturanga. Inhaling through your back bend. And exhaling, downward dog. From your down dog on the inhale, bend the knees, look between the hands, make your way to the front of the mat. Inhaling, halfway lift once you arrive. And exhale, forward fold. Sitting the hips into our chair, reach the arms forward and up. Inhaling all the way to stand. And release the arms. All right. One more chair pose. Take a revolve variation this time. So if you naturally don't feel good with your feet coming all the way together, then you can take your block between your thighs. Whichever you prefer, go ahead and start to sit the hips down into our chair, reach the arms forward and up. Hands come down to heart center. Nice deep inhalation. On the exhale, twisting to the right. The left elbow comes to the outside of that right knee. If you need to, you can rest it on top and stand. But try to get the back of the arm on the outer knee. Pull that left hip back so the knees are in line with one another. Inhale, coming through center. And on the exhale, twisting over to the left. Again, pull the right hip back so you can actually see your knees in line with one another. See if we can get our thumbs to the center of the chest for one more breath. Coming back into center, reach those arms forward and up. Coming all the way up to stand and release the arms. All right. On the inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step or hop the feet back. Flowing all the way through, we'll meet in our downward dog. From your down dog, we'll inhale the right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step the foot between the hands, high lunge. Keep that back heel lifted as we reach the arms up to the sky. Working to find that same tuck under the tailbone we've been working on as the hands come down to the center of the chest. Inhaling deeply. Exhale, twisting to the right. Elbow either outside or on top of the knee. But we need tension between the two, so press the elbow into the knee, press the knee back into the elbow. You're welcome to open the arms wide if you like for these last 2 breaths. If the arms are wide, the hands come back to the center of the chest. Pausing here. Look down at the mat as we step that left foot forward to meet the right. And extending those arms forward and up into our chair pose. Inhaling all the way up and release the arms. So inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step or hop the feet back. Find your chaturanga and your back bend. And then we'll all meet in our down dog. Inhaling that left leg up to the sky. Exhale, stepping in between the hands, high lunge. From high lunge, hands come down to the center of the chest, inhaling deeply. Exhale, twisting over to the left, seeing if we can get the elbow to the outside of the knee or letting it rest on the knee. But firm up that back leg, straighten it as much as you possibly can. Finding that little lift of the belly once again, instead of just letting it rest on your thigh, it's engaged. And if you like, open the arms wide, 2 more breaths. If the arms are wide, the hands come back to the center of the chest. Looking down at the mat as we step our right foot forward. Find our chair, reach the arms forward enough. Coming all the way to stand. And releasing the arms. All right. We're going to take a step back with our right foot, making our way into our pyramid pose. So just like our warrior one, the toes angle out slightly. You can have your hands on the hips, clasp off the elbow, or if you want to come into reverse prayer hands, whichever one you take. Pull those shoulders back, opening up the chest. We inhale, lift up out of the hips, and as we exhale with a flat back, start to fold forward. Imagining like we're trying to press the top of our head all the way across the room to touch whatever wall or barrier is in front of you. And keep those thighs engaged, lifting the kneecaps up for 1 more breath. Whichever arm variation you have now, release them, reach all the way out to the sides. Keep holding, reach the right arm straight forward. Now we're making a big L with our arms. Yeah, as we lift our torso, reach the right arm out, lift the right knee up. And step all the way back into a lunge. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Exhale, lift the knee, switch the arms. 1 more time, lunge. And then lift the knee. Yeah, start to sit down into our chair, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way to the sky. Exhaling, hands to the heart. And release. Other leg, stepping that left foot back now for our pyramid pose. Again, pull that right hip back, let the left hip roll forward. Taking your arm variation. Firming up those legs, we inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, hinge forward at the waist with a long spine. And looking right in front of our toes to keep the long neck. Notice if we're compensating by letting that right hip roll forward, keep gliding it back. 1 more breath. And then we reach the arms straight out to the sides. Keep the flat back. Beginning to shift the left arm forward, making a nice big L with our arms. Yeah. We begin to lift that left knee up, reach the right arm up. Stepping back into our lunge. Yeah, twice more. Lift the knee, switch the arms. And lunge. 1 more time, lift. And lunge. Good, reach those arms all the way up to the sky. And exhale, hands down to the mat. Stepping back into our plank as we lower through chaturanga. Inhaling into our back bend. Exhaling, downward dog. From our down dog, we'll flip the right leg up to the sky. Exhale, stepping in between the hands, high lunge, reaching those arms up nice and tall. From your high lunge, hands come down to the center of the chest. As we lean forward into the right leg, start to lift the back leg up. Warrior 3. Firming up that back leg, you can take whatever arm variation you like. And slowly start to lift the left knee up, giving it a little hug. We'll hold on to the knee with the right hand as we reach the left arm back, coming into a twist. Work on your balance. I know it's all kind of exciting. One last breath. Reach the arms up, gently step back into our lunge. Exhaling, hands down to the mat. Inhale, reach the right leg up and back, bending the knee, opening the hip. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, reach it all the way up and back. Lowering the foot to the mat. Other side, inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step in between the hands, high lunge. Once you found your high lunge, hands come down to heart center. Begin leaning forward, keep that engagement in the belly, and then lifting the back leg off the mat. Again, take the arm variation that you like. And really working to lift that back leg up. One more breath. Gently step the back foot into our lunge, reaching the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the mat. Reaching that left leg up and back as we bend the knee, opening the hip. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, reach it all the way up and back. And lower the foot to the mat. On the inhale, we bend the knees, look between your hands, make your way to the front of the mat. Inhaling, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. And release. All right, coming into our tree pose now. We'll bend into the right knee, opening it to the side. You keep your toes where they are or float the foot up higher up that leg. But just like we did in our twist, press the foot into the leg, press the leg back into the foot, creating tension. And then you can reach up to the sky if you like. Good, knit those ribs together, almost like you're trying to hollow out your belly. While staying in our tree pose, grab onto the left wrist with the right hand. If you can, lean over to the right. Coming all the way back up, letting the arms and legs go. All right, other side, bending into that left knee, opening the knee out. You tuck those tailbones under and then slide the foot where it feels appropriate. Once you find that tension between the foot and the thigh, you can reach the arms up if you like. But again, tuck those ribs in. Either stay here or grab onto the right wrist with the left hand. Maybe lean over to the left. Then as you're ready, coming back up and letting that go. All right. Once you're sufficiently shaken out, on your inhale, we reach the arms to the sky. And exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, step or hop the feet back. Float through your chaturanga and your back bend, and we'll meet in down dog. From downward dog, right leg floats to the sky. Exhale, step in between the hands, warrior two. So as we windmill those arms open, make sure we press that right knee wide, engage in the outer glute. It should feel just like it did in our tree pose earlier. On your next inhale, flip the right palm to the sky, reaching up and back, reverse warrior, hold the heel. Begin to straighten the front leg, reach the right arm forward, shifting the hips back into triangle pose. Left arm to the sky. Again, lean your shoulders back ever so slightly, still pulling the belly in and up. As the left hand comes onto the hip, look down at the mat We reach the right arm forward, half moon pose. Do whatever variation with the arms you like. You can float the left arm, you can float the right arm. 2 more breaths in whatever variation calls you. And then with as much grace as you can summon, gently stepping back into our warrior two. Nice big inhale. Exhale, windmill the hands down to the mat. Pause. Finding a side plank on the left hand, roll to the outer edge of that left foot. Take whatever side plank variation you like. And then gently we come back into our plank. Finding your chaturanga. Inhaling back bend. Meeting in our down dog. Other side. Inhaling the left leg to the sky. Exhale, stepping in between the hands, warrior two. Pausing here for a few breaths. Settling into the posture, that idea of tucking the tailbone under and pressing the knee wide. On your next inhale, we flip the left palm to the sky, reach up and back, reverse warrior, hold here. Begin to straighten the front leg, reach forward, passing into your triangle pose. Try to really stack the right shoulder on top of the left, pressing the shoulder blades into the back. The right hand comes into the hip as we look down, reach that left hand forward, half moon pose. And notice if your left toes are still pointing the same direction that you meant for them to point, or if they started drifting in one way or the other. One more breath in your half moon. Start to bend into the left knee, stepping back into our warrior two. Nice deep inhale. As we exhale, window the hands to the mat. Side plank on the right hand, so press all those knuckles down. Find your side plank variation. And then moving through our plank. Option to take the chaturanga in your back bend. On your next inhalation, we bend the knees. Look between the hands, exhale, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhaling halfway, lift flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhaling, hands to the heart. And release. All right. Let's find our block once again, coming into a revolved pyramid. I know for those of you who've practiced with me several times before, we've done this quite a bit. And you're like, but why? And because it's fun. Okay. So once you have your block, let's place it on the outside of the right foot. We'll step that left foot back just as we did in our pyramid pose before. This time with the right hand on the hip, we reach the left arm all the way up to the sky. Exhale, reach the fingertips forward and pause here with that flat back. Then engage those legs and bend the left hand crosses the body onto your block. We try to rotate the chest, stacking the right hip on top of the left. If the shoulders are stacked, we can reach the right arm up to the sky. Yeah, keep breathing. The right hand comes into the hip. Turn your chest to the mat, reach those left fingertips forward as we come all the way up to stand. And then letting it go, stepping forward. Let's move the block over to the other side. Yes, I know it is a big hamstring stretch, so hopefully the blocks are working for us. All right, once you have that right foot step back, left hand on the hip, right arm reaches up to the sky. As we exhale, hinge at the waist, reach as far forward as you can, and then let the hand cross the body to your body. Rotate those shoulders, stacking the left on top of the right. And then, if you like, we can float the left fingertips up to the sky. And keep gliding that left hip back, firming up the thighs on both legs. 2 more breaths. Left hand comes to the hip, turn your chest to the mat. Reaching the right arm forward, we come all the way up to stand. Releasing the arms and stepping forward. All right. You might want to leave your block somewhere near the front of your mat. And then as you're ready, we inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling halfway, left flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, separate hop the feet back. Lowering through your chaturanga. Inhaling, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Inhaling the right leg to the sky. Exhale, stepping in between the hands, high lunge. From high lunge, hands come down to heart center, leaning forward. Let's find our warrior three. And then releasing the hands onto the blocks as we keep the left leg extended up. You're welcome to stay right here or bring the right hand onto the right hip. If it's there, we start to rotate, turning our chest to the right. And again, you can float the right arm up to the sky. Work to keep that left leg lifted. 2 more breaths. The hand comes down to your block. Gently step the foot back into our lunge. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Exhaling, hands to the mat, stepping back into our plank. Lowering through chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhaling, downward dog. We'll take 4 breaths here. And on your next inhale, floating the left leg to the sky. Exhale, stepping the foot between the hands, high lunge. Root the feet down, reaching the arms to the sky. As the hands come to the center of the chest, leaning forward, lifting the back leg up into warrior three. And then we release the hands onto your blocks or onto the mat. We can bring that left hand onto the left hip as we start to rotate our chest over to the left. Keep the back leg straight and lifted, and then if you like, you can play with floating the left arm. Two more breaths. With control, the hand comes down to the block or mat. Stepping back into our lunge. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the mat as we step back into our plank. Option to find your chaturanga and back bend, but we'll meet in down dog. On your next inhale, we bend the knees, look between the hands. Exhale, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhaling halfway, left flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way to the sky. Exhaling, hands to the heart. And release. All right, we've got one more active sequence. It's going to be a little bit of a flow. I will warn you ahead of time. It may or may not be the exact same on both sides. We'll see what happens. All right, but before that, let's set up nice and tall, palms facing forward in our Tadasana, allowing the eyes. We notice that connection of the feet down into the ground, and with every inhalation, we imagine drawing this energy in and up. And as we exhale, we release it back into our space. And then we slowly begin to open the eyes once again. All right, we will need a block if you've been using it. If you haven't been using it, you probably won't need it. All right, let's inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And exhale, forward fold. Placing our right hand on the block. Placing both hands on the block, we'll start to extend the right leg back behind us. And if you are taking the arm up, let's inhale, reach the left arm up to the sky. And then gently step the foot all the way back, coming into Warrior Two. From Warrior Two, flip the left palm, inhale, reverse warrior. Straighten the front leg on your exhale, triangle pose. Right hand comes into the hip, looking at the mat. Reach forward, lift the back leg up into half moon. Float the arm if you like. Gently stepping back into our Warrior Two. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, windmill the hands to the mat. Reach that left leg up and back. Bending the knee, opening the hip. You can flip your dog if you like. And finding our wild thing, opening the chest and hips to the sky. With control, the hand comes back to the mat. Inhale, reach it up and back. Exhale, kick that left leg over to the right side. Fallen triangle, reach the arm up. Hand comes back down. Inhale, lift that left leg up and back. Exhale, step it between the hands. And reaching the arms all the way up into our lunge. On the exhale, open arm twist left. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, Warrior Three. Beginning to lift the right knee up, reach the right arm up, on both arms to the sky. Hugging that knee into the chest, sitting up taller. Reaching the right arm back, coming into our twist. Inhale, reach both arms to the sky. Release the foot, release the arms. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come to the mat, start to extend that left leg back behind us. You can stay or revolve your Warrior Three. With control, the hand comes back to the block as we step all the way back into our Warrior Two. On the inhale, flip the right palm to the sky, reach it up and back, reverse warrior. Start to straighten your front leg, passing through triangle pose. Bending into the right knee, lift the back leg up in our half moon pose. And then gently stepping back into our Warrior Two. Taking a nice deep inhale. Exhale, windmill the hands to the mat. Reaching the right leg up and back. We bend the knee, opening the hips. Option to flip the dog. Opening the hips to the sky. Reaching that right leg up and back. Exhale, kicking the leg over to the left. Option for our fallen triangle, float the left arm up. Hand comes back, inhale, reach the right leg up and back. Exhale, step in between the hands. High lunge, reaching the arms up. On the exhale, open arm twist right. We reach the arms up, finding our Warrior Three. Lifting the left knee, reaching the arms up. Giving that left knee a little hug, standing up tall. Beginning to take that left arm back into a twist. And then we reach both arms up, keep that knee lifted. Release the leg and the arm. Inhale, last time, arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step or hop the feet back. Lowering through your chaturanga. And coming all the way down to the mat. With the tops of our feet on the mat, we'll reach the arms back by our sides, palms facing up. On your inhale, lift the chest, lift the legs, reaching back firmly. And exhale down. One more time like that. Press the hips down, reach the arms back. And down. Let's make a little pillow with your hands for your head. You can windshield wiper or wiggle the hip side to side. All right. We're coming into our bow pose next. So as we reach back for the ankles, if that's out of reach, you can take your locust pose that we just took once again. If you can, grab the outside of your ankles, walk your knees so that they're in line with the hips. Pulling those shoulders back, we begin to lift the chest, kicking the feet into the hands. Two more breaths in our bow pose. Keep kicking to lift. And then on your exhale, slowly coming down to the mat, letting it go. Again, you can windshield wipe your legs side to side. And then letting the legs go back long. As we press ourselves up onto all fours, we'll find a thread the needle pose, reaching our right arm straight out to the side, and then letting the arm dive under the left shoulder and head come down to the mat. Imagine gliding that left hip back. You can take the left arm wherever feels good in your body. We'll be here for 5 more breaths. Releasing that left hand back under the shoulder, pressing into the hand, reaching the right arm up. And exhale, lower down to the mat. Other side, reaching that left arm out to the side. And exhale, diving it under the right. And again, as we glide that right hip back, you can place the right arm wherever feels best in your body. And then slowly releasing the right hand down under the shoulder, pressing into that arm, sweeping the left arm up to the sky, and release the arm down to the mat. Coming all the way down onto our bellies now. Make sure I'm still in frame. There we go. All right, once you are on your belly, let's extend the left arm straight out to the side, keeping it in line with the shoulder. So if you do have any shoulder stuff going on, you can lower it down closer to your hips. Otherwise, keep it right here in line. We'll bend into the right knee, roll onto your left side, onto the left shoulder. This is the basic part of the posture. You can do whichever you prefer with the arms. Either keep it where it is, slide the back of the hand to the small of the back. Or if your shoulders are super open, you can bring your palms together. And one more breath here. And carefully we come back onto our bellies. Taking that on the other side. Extending the right arm straight out, palm facing down. Hand is in line with the shoulder. Bend into that left hand and we roll onto the right side. Finding this little combination of the shoulder opening, of a back bend and twist all in one. Last 2 breaths here. And then slowly coming back onto your mat. We'll take the hands about a foot away from the shoulders on either side. Stay tented in the fingers. So on the fingertips, as we lift our chest, pressing that pubic bone into the back, press the shoulder blades into the back. And then lower all the way back down. Palms come flat on the mat as we sit the hips back and down into the heels for our child's pose. Nice long inhalations and deep exhalations. One more breath here. Beginning to walk the hands in towards your body as we swing the hips onto the mat. The legs come out in front of us. We'll take them wide to begin. Doesn't need to be as wide as your legs can possibly go. Just wide enough so you can feel a little straddle. Bring the hands to the center of your legs. Either firmly point the toes or flex them back towards your face, but engage those quads as we inhale, sitting up tall. Exhale, start to walk those fingers as far forward as you can, maintaining the integrity of that flat back. You're continuing to press the backs of the knees down onto the ground. One more breath here. With the flat back, we start to walk the hands back in. Turning our chest towards that right leg, hands on either side. We inhale up tall and exhale, fold over the right leg. Finding our flat back as we come all the way up. We turn towards that left leg. Inhale tall. Exhale, fold over this one. Finding our flat back. We come all the way upright. Facing the center. Reaching the left arm up to the sky. Let's start to lean over to the right, making a little arc with our bodies. If you grab the foot, awesome, then keep rotating. Otherwise, let the arm float, continuing this nice big arc. Coming back through center, reaching the right arm up, and then exhale, leaning over to the left. Again, keeping the chest open, maybe looking up towards the sky, smelling your own armpit, for better or for worse. Coming all the way back up. Let's do that twice more. Leaning over to the right. Inhaling up and to the left. Last time, center and right. And center and left. Coming back upright. Releasing the arms. Bring the soles of the feet together, finding our Baddha Konasana, so the heels are about a couple feet in front of the hips. As we inhale, we sit up nice and tall, flat back. Keep the flat back hinging forward as far as you can. Once you've reached as far as you can, pause there with the flat back. And then you have the option to round the chin in. But continue to let those knees press wide and down. One more breath. Finding that flat back as we come all the way back up. Extending those legs straight out long in front of us. If you have tight hamstrings or a pretty tight lower back, then you can bring that block or pillow underneath your knees to bring a bend into it. But then we all inhale, reach the arms up. Hinge forward, keep the shoulders beside the ears for as long as you can. And then we release the arms down wherever they fall, whether that be the knees or on the other side of the feet. Yeah, but steady the breath. If we've gone to a point where we can't take the long inhalations and exhalations, then we've gone too far. Last 2 breaths. Reaching the arms forward once again, straighten the legs if they're bent, coming all the way to stand, up to seated, and then let the arms go. All right. Bending into the knees, soles of the feet come flat onto the mat. Let's reach the arms forward. Begin to hollow out the belly, rounding the chin in. And then start to lower down 1 vertebrae at a time until you're all the way on your back. And then once you're there, try to arch the back, find a little back bend. And then lower the back down, lift those hips up, coming into a bridge pose, adjusting your feet if you need to. Once again, can we lower 1 vertebrae down at a time, keeping the hips tucked under. And then find the opposite, lift the low back for arching it. Tuck the tailbone under, lift the hips up into our bridge. And then last time, again, 1 vertebrae at a time. The hips are the last thing to touch the ground, and then once they do, tilt the pelvis, arching into a back bend. And then lowering down. Once you're there, we bring the knees into the chest, gently rocking from side to side. Making our way into happy baby pose. You can keep your hands on the knees or walk them up to the feet, anywhere in between, but press your tailbone down to the mat. You can take whatever movement feels good, maybe it's rocking side to side or kicking one leg straighter than the other, just doing what feels best in your body, just like a baby. And then we bring the knees back together. Opening the arms out into a T. We're coming into a reclined twist. So scooting the hips over to the right and letting the knees fall to the left. You're welcome to take any other variation of reclined twist that feels good in your body. But we do want to start to find that sense of passiveness of this posture. Feeling our bodies getting heavier and heavier with each gentle exhalation. Last breath here. The inhalation, we come back into center, scoot those hips over to the left. And then we find a twist over to the right. Or taking the same variation that you took on the other side. But again, soft hips, soft thighs, soft shoulders. Last breath here. On your inhalation, we come back into center. For the next 60 seconds, if there's any other posture that you need in your body, whether that be a shoulder stand, Supta Baddha Konasana, your reclined bounding pose, any posture that makes your body feel good, I'll give you the 30-second mark to let you know when we're halfway through in case your posture has 2 sides. So go ahead and find whatever posture your body needs. And if you can't think of anything and you're just ready for Shavasana, you can always start in the early Shavasana as well. That is the halfway point. If your pose has two sides, go ahead and take the other side. And then wherever you are, let's start to make our way onto our backs once again. Extending the legs out long, letting the arms go wide, tucking those shoulder blades under. Once your feet are as wide as your mat and you're prepared for your Shavasana, removing anything that's touching you that you aren't using. Begin to make fists, curling up your toes. We're starting to flex every muscle in our body, squeezing, and then let it go. Let's take that 2 more times. Squeeze every muscle in your body, curl in, and release. 1 more time, deep inhalation, holding, squeezing everything for 3, 2, 1, and exhale, let all of the tension go. As we find ourselves in Shavasana, allowing the eyes to close and the breath to become easy and unlabored. Scanning the body, starting at the toes, the feet and the ankles, looking for a sense of softness. Relaxing the calves, the thighs, all of the muscles around the hips, they let go. Noticing a softness of the low back as we relax the middle and the upper back. Noticing that release of tension in our bellies and our chests. Just watching them float up and down with each passive breath. As we notice the softness of the fingers, the hands, and the wrists. The release of the forearms, upper arms, and shoulders as they melt down into the ground. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing the throat, and letting the tongue float freely in the mouth away from the roof. Smoothing out the wrinkles across the bridge of the nose, the brow, and the forehead. As we find this warmth, softness, and relaxation of the entire body. Watching each breath pass in and out of the nose. If you find your mind is just wandering from here to there, then maybe consider counting each exhalation from 1 up to 10 and starting back at 1. If you lose count, that's okay. It comes with the practice. But once you notice it, we start over at 1. Continuing our focus. And as we continue to lay here in stillness, begin to scan your body from the top of the head down to the soles of the feet, noticing how your body feels. We work through a flow that would open the entire body, but how does that translate into what you actually feel? Noticing our minds once again, acknowledging whether our minds are calm and quiet, or if it feels like we're hopping from thought to thought, like we're playing Frogger on the 405. Wherever we are on the spectrum, just acknowledge that that's where we are. And as we bring our awareness onto the breath, we slowly begin to take a nice deep inhalation through the nose and sigh it out of the mouth. Bringing movement back into the fingers and toes, circling through the wrists and the ankles. And on the inhale, we reach the arms and legs nice and long for a big stretch. Exhaling the knees into the chest, rolling onto your right side, pausing in fetal position. We took this time to create space in our bodies, to get rid of things that we don't need anymore. So for just a moment, give yourself some words of affirmation. Whether that's expressing a sense of gratitude for the things that we have in our lives, the people in our lives, or our body's ability. Maybe it's commending yourself on a job well done, whether it be on the mat or something that you recently did off the mat. And then as you're ready, we begin to press ourselves up to a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like in your body. And then as we sit up nice and tall, letting the hands rest on your knees, let's allow the eyes to close, and for just a moment, bring to the forefront of your mind some person that's not in your immediate space that can use a little bit of love, a little kindness sent their way, some patience, whatever it is. Now, can we imagine sending that out to the world at large? Or do we feel protective of our well wishes? And then as you're ready, we'll bring the hands to heart center, thumbs resting on the breastbone. And then one last time, nice deep inhalation through the nose and sighing it out of the mouth. Thank you all so very much for coming and practicing with me today. Christine she'll be back, I think tomorrow or tonight. She went to go visit her brother just to make sure he's doing well. So it is always a pleasure whenever I get to come in and practice and teach with you all. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you all next time. Namaste. I know I put everybody on mute.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm in at that pool back there.
Come on over. Comes with margarita.
Yes, I'm down. All right, I'll see you all later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, how do I turn this off? Come back.